Okay, on this one, I've been having like watching people and things and events, and I was having like numerous questions. Like I barely learned about the whole idea of someone being that whole label of divine, feminine, masculine. And so I asked Source to explain it to me. Like I was really confused. I didn't know what it meant, who was who. And I'm just going to give you a brief definition because they guide me to certain people, certain information, and then they'll tell me to listen, and then they'll tell me if that person is correct or that information is really important, or they'll guide me to some reading or books or knowledge. And there's one specific person that I got this Hermetic teaching, and it had some stuff that I kept the information, but I didn't read it. I've had it for a couple months, and then when I asked all these questions, they told me to pull it out and start reading. And in it, it defined divine as angelic host, angelic helpers, masters, adepts. Some are even named as gods and deities, elder brethren of the race that were advanced souls who outstripped their brethren. They were highly evolved. And then also what I knew from before was that the divine were, I guess, angelic warriors or earth warriors, hybrids, and they had to have a certain lineage or bloodline to be able to carry a specific type of a new word I just barely learned like a week or two ago. They just put it in my head, the word mana, not manna, mana, M-A-N-A. And then I had to do research on that because I had questions about, when I go into this, about spiritual energy, how to manifest, why are people doing like black magic and crazy weird shit that I don't know how to do. They just told me that's what's going on. They don't want me anywhere like near actual like magic, like that type of magic, other than like just thinking positively, being a positive person. And they're like, yeah, and with mana, which is spiritual energy, that's what's used to manifest, to do magic, or to just have good things come to you, and it's life energy. And also to, along with having this, able to carry the specific type of mana, that it's also, like I had mentioned before on my other videos, about having the host had to have the right physical, the 3D body that could carry higher level, more evolved walk-ins. And it's not just walk-ins, one walk-in, it's numerous walk-ins. Like one walk-in expands, develops the host to carry more highly evolved energy, and then the next walk-in is even more evolved, so it's like it progresses the host. So what it led to, I wanted to know, how can I tell who's divine, who's not divine? Like I'm confused. How does it work? And so I'm going to be breaking it up, describing what's divine and what's not divine. And this one is in relation to karma. I've mentioned it before, but they broke it down for me. This is like a telltale, like one of the number one telltale signs. And it'll explain a lot of shit that's going on, why people get away with what they do. Okay. So, divine karma, they explained to me just the bare minimum. Bare minimum is times 10. So this person is a divine person who's gifted by the positive aspects. So they instantly come into this earth with karma times 10. And it's a protection mechanism for this person. So they learn what karma is, they understand it, they believe it, and so they don't harm themselves and harm others. So like they receive karma for, it's positive karma, well, dharma, positive and negative, that they receive times 10. So if they do bad, they get karma, they hurt someone, they don't promote life, they promote imbalance, they get karma times 10. But when they do positive things, they get good things back times 10. And it's a way, it's from birth. And they'll even be put in a crappy family that tortures them, and they get triggered, and they learn about karma, what happens when they are in a negative aspect. And when they're in a positive aspect, they receive positive things. They learn from a small age not to hurt other people, not to be negative, and in this way it prepares them to be their energy, their 3D body, to be able to carry more higher levels of advanced energy and to have more higher levels of gifts, to have them prepared for the path that they're going to have and their purpose. So they have respect of karma, self, and others, universal law. So they can keep themselves, keywords, pure and innocent as possible, to receive the highest amount of dharma, the highest, more pure, powerful mana, and its life energy for manifestation, highest level, to get the highest level of spiritual battle team, guides, ancestors, protection, knowledge, downloads, etc. That you would picture in your mind a divine person that was gifted by the universe, God sent here for a purpose to be, like superhuman or overhuman. And then normal karma used to be times 3, and then it even went up to times 7. And this is where those that are not divine, normal, that don't have gifts, or not gifted by the positive aspect. So those with the negative aspect, they have the normal karma times 3, times 7. And that's why, because they are not gifted by source, by the positive aspect, they don't have karma times 10. And that's why they can do so many negative things, harmful things to self and others, but they seem untouched by karma, which many don't even get karma in this lifetime, and sometimes they don't get karma for many lifetimes at that level. And they even may be gifted, but because it is not from source, creator, God, universe, however you want to call it, or the positive aspect, they don't get karma times 10. And then I'll discuss more of this on another video, more into detail. And like how they get their gifts, how they get energy to manifest and to do what they do. And it leads to, quote unquote, the biggest sins, the biggest way to receive karma. It's always been this way. To receive karma is to harm the innocent and the pure. That's the most important 2 keywords, the innocent and the pure. Things that can't protect themselves, which are children, animals, the elderly, handicapped, Mother Earth, and then the newest one, because they have a purpose. The divinely gifted by the positive aspect. And those are the ones where you get, when you fuck with them, or you are one of them, that's the max karma you could get. And then it gets even crazier when you start combining these, like being a gifted child that's handicapped. And it gets even creepy. There are some non-devines that on purpose find someone who's divinely gifted and don't know that they're divinely gifted, so they can have a divinely gifted child to use that mana, and they actually siphon it from that child for magic and to engulf themselves in that divine energy to trick people and to get things. No joke, that shit is like crazy. And I just barely learned about that because I was asking questions what was going on. And then there are those who covet the manifesting abilities of the divine ones, the ones that are gifted by the positive aspect, source, God. There are many ways to get this mana, this spiritual energy. And they can do it, from what I understand. You can look these up or look at others. Other people have more information. I'm just barely learning. Such thing as harvesting, transference, cloaking in the other's energy. Switching through cords, ties, bridging, etc., like using children. Or getting to relationships or even friendships, just getting close to that person. So by doing this, like harming a divine one, just a divine gifted one from source, the positive aspect, they receive karma times 10 for causing harm, imbalance, stealing, not promoting life to a divine. But they can amplify it even more by somehow sitting in that energy or claiming it as theirs, claiming the divine one's energy as theirs. Basically manufacturing this divinity, which is opposition of universal law, God's law. They're breaking universal law to be divine, to have all the aspects of the divine. Being in the divine's energy signature, switching, so then they don't realize the universe is allowing them to do this. So then they are under divine law of times 10. So think about it. They're in the divine energy of times 10, and then they're harming someone, stealing from someone who's divine. That's another times 10. So they already have the normal karma of either times 10 or times 7. So it's 10. At first I thought it was plus, but then I saw what was happening. Like, they could sit there and do something harmful to a divine, like that costs the money, they steal from them. Say they steal $10,000 from this person. But then the results, the karma was all of a sudden this person, if they're a millionaire, they lose millions. So I was like, it's not plus, it's times, times, times. So think about it. It's 10 times either 3 or 7. And I'm just going to do 3. That's times 300. That's crazy. And that could, with all that amplifying, that's a minimum of like 100 lifetimes in one lifetime. That's fucking insta karma that these people are doing to themselves and harming others, not promoting life or balance. And that's all the energy that's going to be allowed that promotes life and balance from now on. Source is letting many learn lessons in this way, plus the energy shift that I had mentioned before, because our planetary system is in a more highly energetic part of space. It amplifies manifestation for everyone, negative or positive. There's no discrimination. So it will become self-harm or reward depending on the person, the energetic state, or the polarity they are in. And then they threw some extra information. Things were kind of fucked up for a while. And the reason why was things would have stayed the same. The universe would have allowed these non-divine or people that were in that negative aspect to attack each other. The universe was fine with that. But what happened is these people, big groups of even powerful people, they overstepped their boundaries by hurting those that didn't cause harm, the innocent, the pure, like the children, animals, elderly, all those that couldn't defend themselves. Mother Earth. So then the universe was like, and Source was like, nope, can't allow that to fucking happen anymore. So they brought in the divines, the divinely gifted. They have a purpose, they have a path to bring balance just with their presence. So you can think about that one. And I'll be providing more information. I'll be breaking it down. And then the more that I notice, the more that they require me to talk about, I'll be giving it to you as I get it.